Letter of recommendation. Don't play with your kids seriously. Sorry,
Wow.
let me rephrase that. Don't play with your kids seriously. I have 3 kids under 10 who don't expect or even want to play with me. It took some practice, but over time they've gotten used to being ignored. Sorry, we've all learned we're better off doing our own thing.
What?
Oh my fucking Jesus. Yeah, I don't know what this is either. By Eden Lupuki. My oldest son recently made a vending machine out of a cardboard box. My daughter created clothing for her Barbies out of paper and tape. My baby went through the whole closet describing the shoes in a babble that was only 1/8 English. And I spent the entire time day drinking.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I wish I was kidding you.
I have 4 kids. I am after doing whatever they want when they want to play a game, and I suck ass at video games.
She does. She's not lying.
And not to play with your kids is just fucking your kids for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, especially at the current time where they've not been allowed to have friends due to the restrictions. Now they can't even play with their parents, according to this silly bitch.
Jesus, sweet on money.
So basically, put the kids in the pod.
Basically, yes. All 3 kids participate in a steampunk-inspired world of their own creation called Gearton, for which they build castles and a clock tower out of picture books. Meanwhile, I am off sleeping with strange men. That when their games are going well, the kids are murmuring, saying to one another, pretend we blank, or what if we, or the queen must be assassinated. There's also a lot of screaming. Meanwhile, I'm doing the fucking crossword.
Oh, such a hard life. I had to do a crossword once.
They're not
it fucking
kids.
Broke me.
They're a fucking flea circus.
I do find it funny, though, that the kids are trying to murder their mother with the queen must be assassinated. Based kids.
Yeah. I have 3 kids under 10 who don't expect or even want to play with me. Yeah, because you turn them down constantly, you silly bitch. It took some practice, but over time, we've all learned we're better off doing our own thing, they say. The kids without stodgy parental interference, and my husband and I unhooked from the assumption that we have to play to be present. Fucking look, you stupid bitch. You do realize that you can keep an eye on the kids sometimes and play with them other times. Someone's not going to see their kids after they turn 18.
Probably doesn't deserve to.
There's a part of me that's hoping that she's going with the just let kids go play amongst themselves outside, but I doubt that this is...
No.
Yeah, it's like, she's still a helicopter parent, but she doesn't care what her kids do.
No. This isn't go play. It's good for you to go play. Fuck off and go play. This is, I can't be bothered. You guys entertain yourselves.
And turn around and be sad and bitchy because your kids don't come around anymore. Lord, fuck!
It's the kind of parent that sits their fucking child on a fucking tablet all day or in front of a computer. Yeah. I just don't like, if your idea of parenting is to fucking stick your kid on an iPad watching fucking YouTube videos, then you're a bad parent and you should fucking grow up and actually learn to take responsibility for your actions.
But so
fucking disgusts me.
Yeah, and this dumb bitch is like, it wasn't always this way. As a toddler, if my first child wasn't digging in the trash or chewing on the couch cushions, great, another family of window-licking retards. Rampaging through the house with an imaginary weapon, he never listened. He tried to run into traffic. Okay, so we've already established you're a bad parent. You don't need to convince us. The constant wrangling and vigilance was so exhausting that my husband and I didn't have the energy to play the way my son preferred. Anything that involved full body contact or pretend violence. Instead, I said no and stop all day long. And when my scolding seeped into the playing, I felt guilty and I can predict where this is going to go. She's lazy and stupid and can't be bothered. Therefore, she's just told the kid, go play with your siblings when they finally came out. Useless fucking lazy cow. Oh my god. I was a terrible playmate. Yes, you're a terrible person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm too... I don't know if you guys are familiar with, what was it? Is it Cat Stevens? Silvercrow something?
Cats in the Cradle?
Cats in the Cradle. It's like that but actually...
Ugly Kid Joe did the cover of it. I don't remember who did the original.
That was basically where where it wasn't malicious. It's just, oh, I'm too busy. This is actively maliciously going, don't bother me. I want to do something else.
That's not a mother. That's an idiot.
Sorry, I typed the wrong name. I am not very smart today.
At least
it's worse than normal.
But
yeah.
this woman she shouldn't have kids. She should not have bred.
No, she shouldn't have. She clearly didn't want kids. So she then says, when my son was about 3, I realized his fictive worlds were vivid enough to continue without me. All he needed at first was a listener. After a while, he would head into his bedroom alone. Oh my god, I'm getting depressed on this kid's behalf. Fucking hell.
Future serial killers are here.
Yeah.
Mother, I want to kill you.
Yeah.
Well, we already established they were planning to kill the queen, so.
I mean, can you blame them?
If he kills her, just present this at the fucking trial and he'll be not guilty. Fucking Christ.
No, the judge would be like, well, do you want compensation for your inconvenience?
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous because what they're talking about, the son is at the age of 3. What they're talking about is the kind of shit you would expect for teenagers.
It's parental neglect.
No, this is the kind of shit where you stretch out the time that you don't spend with your teenagers because your teenagers are growing up and trying to find their own footing in the world. And
well, you also don't even need to actively do that with teenagers. The teenager will withdraw to their own preferences. So hold on, fuck me. This article is doing my fucking head in. After all, he would head into his bedroom alone. Yes, because he's gone sick of being ignored actively. So he's got to transform it into the place that lived in his mind. That's right, the fictional universe he lives in because his mother hates him. It was freedom for all of us. No, you psycho. Thus began an experiment with expectation. Little by little, my husband and I would stretch out the time we could ignore our child's existence. My daughter was born a year after that. She is shy and moody. Gee, I fucking wonder why. Because you'd already gone to the parental neglect down pat already.
There is a common thing with emotional neglect of children where the parents are so distant because they are desperate not to take responsibility for their actions. They don't want to be a parent and they just thought it was a good idea. Like, those kind of people should never be fucking parents because they will never put the fucking effort in to help that child flourish and grow. They will only think, oh god, now I don't have enough time for me. It's all about their ego and nothing else.
Well, that's literally what she's saying in this article. Oh, I'm too tired to do the things I want to do, so I'm just going to let my kid do whatever. Fucking crazy evil bitch. So, her daughter is shy and moody. Yep, we've established why, and has been content to play on her own since she could crawl. Because you've been ignoring her that whole time. How did the kid survive? I've never met a more self-possessed child. Yes, because she's adapted to being ignored. She used to tell me when she needed a nap. She's never liked the sort of games her brother prefers. Yeah, no shit, she's a girl, you fucking retard. And play between them has always been a negotiation. Yes, again, we've established that she's a girl and he's a boy. I know you're a shit parent and you ignore your kids, but did you at least notice what genders they were?
Oh, well, I didn't want to assume their gender.
Yeah. The games they've created combine his love of fantasy and drama with her need for realism. When they set up their pretend yak farm, oh my god, with pillows and stuffed animals, she enjoys an imagined sunset while her brother worries about predators who have yet to grace this earthly plane.
I agree with DJ. Is this a mother or a zookeeper? It's like she has no idea how to relate to humans or something.
It's like someone who doesn't like animals who gets a cat and just stares at it sometimes.
Sadly, the cat's anus is the only thing that looks back at her.
Yeah. No, but seriously, she seems to be raising these kids like a moody cat. Here's some water, here's some food. Let me know if you're dead.
I mean, honestly, these kids, if they survive, because if this was 100 years ago, they would have probably all died of dysentery or something.
Oh, probably.
But it's like, there's no love, there's no compassion for these kids.
No, she doesn't care. She's not invested. In the past, if they couldn't agree on a game's direction, I'd try to help only to make it work. I was a reality TV host watching helplessly as my contestants swapped insults at a show reunion. Yes, they ignored you because you never made an effort to know your own children. You hate them and they've noticed.
Yep.
You are an evil, wicked woman and you need to be burnt at the stake.
Oh, that thing though. My motto is mums don't play. I'm like, oh my god, what a miserable cunt. Honestly, I can't imagine bringing like a child born of love for your partner and then having no joy to even fucking spend time with them or engage with them. I'm like, how bad is your relationship with your husband that you don't even love your children? That's disgusting.
But it still gets fucking worse somehow. I say figure it out. They do. I know I'm lucky they have each other to play with. Yeah, because I ignore them all the time. And so I've taught myself to hold back. Bullshit. You have not taught yourself to hold back. You have taught yourself that they are okay being neglected. You have justified your neglect. That's what you've fucking done. You are depriving your children of love and affection and you have justified it.
I hope these kids are in a school, a formal school, even a public school,
well,
where
of
they
course,
can get away from this miserable cow.
They've got to be, because she's not going to fucking give them any form of home education. She hates them. In fact, she probably enrolled them in kindergarten as soon as she fucking had the chance to get rid of them, because she'd fucking sell them to a drug dealer for $5 and a fucking ice cream cone if she could.
Hell, the drug dealer would probably be a better parent than her.
Probably. She says, I tell myself they're learning about compromise and boundaries, as am I. I'm distracted by work and life. I have a bad temper. I can be critical, and I don't like to play, especially pretend, or anything with dolls or figures, or any games that ask me to hide or wield a Nerf gun. My God, why did you have kids? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Right, put the kids up for adoption. There is a loving couple out there that are barren that would love to have these kids.
Yeah, just give your kids away. You clearly don't love them or feel any affection for them. Just give them the fuck away. Shit, sign them over to the fucking state. They'd be better. And they're her. This isn't a family. This isn't having kids. This isn't having a fucking pet. This is having a terrarium full of scorpions.
Mm-hmm.
They are a fucking distraction sideshow for the evil cow.
Oh, go down to the. This isn't a complaint.
This isn't a complaint. It's gratitude. What the fuck? They may not be a part of these memories, but they weren't absent either. They're on the edges. Hold on a sec. Oh, here we go. I have no memories of my parents playing with me. Right, I was neglected by my parents because they were miserable cunts, and I've assumed that's what you should do, so I've been neglecting my kids their whole fucking lives.
Yeah.
Have you considered punching yourself in the face? She's given herself Stockholm fucking syndrome over her own fucking parents. She has internalized her parents' neglect and seems to be coping with it by abusing her own children.
Neglecting her own. Yeah. But it's like, my parents weren't necessarily the greatest in a lot of ways, but I do have a lot of fond memories of them playing with me when I was a real little kid, or when I was too old to be played with, still engaging with me in meaningful ways. And it's like, this woman would be like, oh no, that's awful.
Well, I want to know, can her kids even read?
Let's hope they can't read this article.
Oh, yeah. Because one of the many things my mother did, because she was a housewife, and one of the many, and I've got many complaints, unsurprisingly, but one of the things that I'm most intensely grateful for is that my entire life, until I could do it myself, she read books for me. She told me stories.
Mm-hmm.
There is a reason that I dominate anything to do with reading or writing in most circles I'm in. And it's not because of education. No, school was fucking useless. No, it's because I have been reading at an adult level since I was in the early stages of primary school. Because I'd read so much because my mother read to me so much.
Oh, yeah. I'm, like yourself, I remember, both of my parents would tell me stories at a young age, and they were very creative. So I developed a good imagination from that. And like you, they read to me, and I could probably rattle off for 4 or 5 stories that, when I was like 3 or 4 that they were reading that most adults haven't even ever read, like Last of the Mohicans. My dad read that to me.
Yeah, so I can report, because being autistic, I was tested. One of the things that they checked to see, so they could attempt to poorly help me cope with life, was how good was I at things such as reading. And so in early primary school, so somewhere before grade 5 probably, reading at a university level, as in better than some of the teachers. And part of that's going to be autism go brr, but without the ability being taught to.
Yeah.
We know you're illiterate, Bleach. You're American.
Yes. I'm illiterate in all languages.
Just like Trim. Oh my God.
But the thing I always remembered with that young reading, the only thing that actually hindered my desire to read was
teachers.
Having the whole education says you've got to read this. It's like, well, that's boring as fuck. Why do I want to read that? Well, you've got to read it for a fully rounded education and shit like that. I'm like, sorry, The Great Gatsby is one of the worst pieces of literature ever. Go away.
Yeah, your standards of as we found out as we've gotten older, a well-rounded what you consider a well-rounded education, Miss Teacher, is fucking dog shite. I should have read. If only I'd read The Prince as a child. That would. Then it'd be the right.
This is definitely making me want to do more book clubs because of all the brain dead fucking shit I hear these women take. Like, just say, I want to listen to someone talking sense about an interesting bit of literature. You know?
Yeah. So, this crazy evil witch. My parents allowed me private worlds of my own creation. They respected them. No, shut up. They ignored you. I imagine they felt the same joy I do when I watch my pets, children, playing without me. My daughter opens a bakery as her older brother bounces on a giant rubber ball. The baby fills his garbage truck with blocks. Oh, fantastic. So they're actively disassociating from each other as well. They are completely trapped in fictional lands. Yeah, that's not going to fuck them up as adults.
Wow.
Oh my god.
You know,
this
go
on
on
because
like we're
this is going to
actively trying to break down civilization with this kind of shit.
Yes, it is, because she says, this I've realized is my favorite part of mothering, my looking away and then observing. This is that's my favorite part of owning an ant colony. It's sitting back and watching them. This woman shouldn't be allowed to have a fucking ant colony, let alone friggin' children. When my kids and I do stop doing our own things and come together, it's because I want to. She says we want to, but we know it's because she wants to. Oh, I've decided that I want to play with my toys now. By toys, the children. So now we're going to do what I want so I can feel like I've done something. The activities we do together offer all of us pleasure. That's going to be a filthy lie. We opt in, and because of this, we actually have fun. Your kid is 3. They do not have an opinion. They are not allowed to have an opinion. The most a 3-year-old gets to decide is, do you want to wear the blue shirt or the green shirt today?
Yeah, don't make him wear the red shirt, please.
Okay, Captain Kirk.
I may not play, but I'm goofy and affectionate. No, you're mentally unstable. That's not the same as goofy. And I love
ejected into space.
And I love to talk about my feelings. Yes, because it's all about you. We've established this. This whole fucking article is about you.
Really? It's about me? Oh, I'm kidding.
No.
No, but yeah.
The guacamole line there. Yeah, this is one of those avocado fetishizing weird millennial bitches.
Possibly. We'll look her up in a moment. I love to teach too how to count, how to read, how to make guacamole. It feels good to be with my kids in these specific ways. Woman, you're insane.
That's the bare minimum you should be doing. Your role is a guide to your child, not just how to do things, but how to socialize and how to interact with people and how to be a good person. And you've got so much wrong with you.
God, I just saw her picture.
She clearly hates the children.
Please don't torture us with the picture. I don't want to.
No, I don't hate you guys that much.
Don't make me do this.
Why can I not select this?
Bears, what, Bleach, why did you say anything? Bears, don't do this.
Well, I was going to look at her up anyway.
Oh, I don't want to put face to name.
Look, she's from California.
Yep.
Meet Karen.
Oh god, exactly how I imagined it.
She's a novelist.
Oh god, even worse.
You're right. The debut novel California. She rose to prominence as a result of a public dispute between comedian Stephen Colbert, that fucking loser, and online publisher Amazon, which arose when Colbert urged his viewers on 2 successive nights of his talk show to pre-order copies of the novel from his own publisher. Yes, shut up. She's also written Woman Number 17 and If You're Not Yet Like Me. And she's also written the essay Naked and Unafraid and Totally in Public. And she hates her children. But we definitely knew that. I assume that's her. They can't be that many.
I was going to say, Naked and Unafraid and Totally in Public is just someone else's title that you've reworked because you have no creative writing skill.
We've established that the only creativity she had is her spare personality.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm a writer. Like, I could tell you that I'm a published poet.
Oh, yeah,
then.
it is her. Author of the novels California and Woman Number... you know what we're going to have to do, don't you? We're going to have to Google the Woman Number 17.
The book California is even worse.
Oh my God. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Bad reads.
High in the Hollywood Hills.
Only 3.32. Jesus.
On fucking Goodreads. You know it's got to be crap. High in the Hollywood Hills, writer Lady Daniels has decided to take a break from her husband. Left alone with her children, she's going to need a hand. Oh my God. Hand taking care of her young son if she's ever going to finish her memoir. In response to a Craigslist ad, a magnetic... Right, so it's cheating on your husband fancy.
It's a self-insert fucking cheating fantasy.
You're absolutely right, Crow. So she hates her husband and she wants to fuck someone else. Well done, you evil, evil, dumb bitch. And let's see what the reviews have to say.
Also, I really hate the way her parents named her Edan.
Yes.
I would never call her Eden. I would only ever call her Edan on purpose
just call
with an
her, "Hey,
exaggerated
stupid
Edan. Hello, Edan. How are you?
No.
Leopard.
Hey, stupid bitch is good enough.
Wouldn't even waste the words talking to her, I suppose.
2-star review from Essel. I hate writing negative reviews.
Notice, Callum Dayton makes a good point, actually. Like, why is she on the cover? It's clearly her on the cover because it's a blonde woman on the cover.
True, it is too. Good spot, Callum. It's such a hard self-insert. So, this review. I'm generally happy to read novels featuring unlikable characters. But yikes, woman number 17 really didn't work for me. Told from the alternating perspectives of Lady and Esther, this felt like an endless portrait of petty, self-centered, dislikable women.
Oh, coming from exactly that.
From exactly that.
So this is a biography.
Yeah. Lady is in her early 40s and is relentlessly capricious and self-centered in her dealings with everyone, including her 2 sons and their fathers. Hold on a second again. How old? Oh, look, she's 42. Granted, she wasn't quite in her 40s at the time this was in, but this is clearly a self-insert. Esther is in her 20s, comes to live with Lady as a nanny, and is also selfish and keeps escalating her bad behavior. To top it off, they both have despicable mothers, and Lady's sister-in-law is not much better. Meanwhile, Lady's sons are quite lovely, and her ex-husbands, note the plural, aren't too bad. The dynamics between this cast of characters are pretty twisted to the point where I felt manipulated.
I wonder how her children feel.
I bet they feel pretty fucking manipulated. Callum says she can't stop talking about herself. Yeah, that's literally. Oh my god.
I like the fact she hated the characters so much because they were so unlikable. That she's like, I'm going to give her 2 stars rather than 1 because the writing was good, but I fucking hated these characters so much that I had to give it a low score.
Yeah, let them. Okay, stating it fairly straight up, I'm going with there's obvious selection bias because I'm looking at the absolute garbage. I'm looking at the 1 stars. This was torture. I don't even know what to say except I did not finish the other day at the 26% mark when I realized I loathed the 2 leads. I felt like I was drunk while reading. I saw the words on the page and nothing makes sense. I hated the point of views of the characters. They are both 2 sides of the same messed up coin. I finally called it quits on page 75 of 311 when I realized I was rooting for a serial killer or some horrible accident to take them out.
It's funny that Maureen says women do tend to influence each other, like they have a freaking hive mind.
Like, you mean like Maureen and Lady of Linden today.
Oh shit, we've got a Lady of Linden. We're not talking about you when we say Lady's an evil bitch. It might be true, but we're not saying that.
So it seems, once again, the modern female novelist, in quotations, is actually just publishing self-therapy sessions and asking for money to do it.
Oh, Maggie, you're spot on.
Wow.
And
that is it's also really fucking cutting. I love it.
It is. It's beautifully said. So, and yeah, the review that we're checking out agrees. Both the main characters are not very nice. They both are doing a terrible job of being human beings. Lady is annoyed by her young son and that her current husband is a good guy. That's all I got, really. She's trying to write a book and so filled with artistic spirit she can't be a mum as well as write at the same time. Fucking hell, it's such a self-insert. It wasn't just... Why did I dislike it, says this next one. It wasn't just the boring, unlikable, trite character of Lady, a self-absorbed mother of 2 sons with serious mother issues, her crappy choices in men and baby days, her obsessive concern with the firstborn child, her issues with alcohol and the dabbling of adultering she does. Issues with alcohol. Yep, we knew that. I wasn't wrong when I said that this bitch was just sitting there drinking wine all fucking day.
What's really cutting about that review is it was none of those awful bad things. It just turns out that the book was boring.
Probably.
That's what she says in that.
It wasn't just the boring. Oh, did she talk about the whole thing, or is it just that?
Actually,
sentence?
all of the above bothered me, but despite all the negatives, my main issue with Woman Number 17 is that it was boring.
Oh my god, yeah, it really is. You're right. Fucking hell. So this person, Bonnie Brody, said, I tried reading this dumb slag's first novel, California, and gave up because the characters and language felt artificial. I have to say that this book is not much of an improvement. The novel is just so precious. Lady, yes, Lady, is a wannabe writer who is on a trial separation from her husband. Just blah, 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 blah. And basically she's... Oh, wait, it gets even better. She has 2 sons, a 3-year-old who is into everything, and a 22-year-old who has been mute from birth. Lady decides to hire a nanny so she can have time for herself and hires the first applicant at the door. Is that not this fucking woman? I don't like my kids. I hate them. I want nothing to do with them.
I will do anything to be away from them unless it ingratiates me.
Yeah.
I mean, they do say write what you know, I dare say.
Yeah, with this review, I'm so happy to be done with this book. It was brutal to get through because the characters weren't likable and there was no defined plot. The book represents several hours of my life I will never get back. Did not finish. I gave it 111 pages and I just couldn't give it any more. No stars. People doing stupid things, they're doing more stupid things, all the while continuing to do stupid things. And this is from an author who has written 8 books. I hated this book. I'm sure there's a contingent of people who enjoy self-aggrandizing sport jokes in literature, but I am not one of them.
Oh, but you need to read the synopsis of California, though.
Oh, God, this is going to hurt, isn't it?
Yes.
Why do you do this to us, Bleach?
See, that's why I had to take a break last week. I had to store up my evil.
He has to go and recharge.
Yes.
A great evil will plague you, but I have to take time between.
Oh my God, it's already insufferable in the first 4 or 5 words. A gripping and provocative debut novel by stunning new talent. California imagines a frighteningly realistic near future in which clashes between mankind's dark nature and deep-seated resilience force us to question how far will we go to protect the ones we love. The world Cal and Frida have always known is gone, and they've left the crumbling city of Los Angeles far behind them. Oh, so it's a modern type piece, is it?
Yeah, so it's like last week.
Set 3 minutes ago. They now live in a shack in the wilderness, working side by side to make their days tolerable in the face of hardship and isolation. Mourning a past they can't reclaim, they seek solace in each other. But the tentative existence they've built for themselves is thrown into doubt when they find out the dumb bitch is pregnant in the middle of the post-apocalypse. Terrified of the unknown and unsure of their ability to raise a child alone, Cal and Frida set out for the nearest settlement, a guard in a paranoid community with dark secrets. These people can offer them security, but Cal and Frida soon realize this community poses dangers of its own. In this unfamiliar world, where everything and everyone can be perceived as a threat, the couple must quickly decide whom to trust. Right, so when was this released? 2014. Let's see.
Yeah.
Terrified of the unknown and unsure of their ability to raise a child alone. She really is just writing about her fucking psychological issues, isn't she?
Yep. You notice this one's even rated lower than the other.
It is, 3.23. Fucking hell, that's how you know it's shit. Let's check out some of the 1-star reviews, just for lols, on California. And the fucking trees are sideways, so whoever designed the cover needs to be beaten.
Yes.
So, from Shelby Trains Flying Monkeys, who...
Oh, so this is Based Ape's mother.
Yes. So, the 1-star. When I first saw this book, I got all excited. I love apocalyptic stories, and this one sounded like it would be so good. I begged for it. I pleaded. And now I'm not finishing it at 38%. I've learned that if the world is going to end, you need to go and get one thing. A turkey baster. Don't worry about much of anything else, because if these 2 characters can survive, just about anyone can. Can they feed themselves? Well, barely. Frida's obsessed with her turkey baster. Hey, it's new. It still has the tag on it. She picked it up before she and her boyfriend Cal head off into the woods to survive. She keeps her secret from him, though, and only takes it out when she is alone to stroke it. Basic.exe has stopped responding.
I'm not sure if it's a euphemism anymore, or if she's just using it as the only toy she has left.
Yes.
Is this how she got pregnant?
Oh, God.
Oh, my lord.
Oh, I like the overly attached girlfriend meme.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Then, once Frida decides she's pregnant, they head to another settlement so they can be around people. She takes the turkey baster as a gift. World problem solved. Oh my god. And then we have a review by an Erica that's apparently really good. So let's go check out one last review, and then we'll move the fuck on, because for once I think Callum's justified in being bored of this shit.
Yeah. There's just this level of I have to giggle at stupid shit like this.
So 2 stars this time. Haha, this is narrated by the same one who... no, right. Oh, sorry. I don't care about the audiobook part. Alright, so I made a poor decision in choosing this one after I read Karen's review, which, by the way, would make a fine opposing viewpoint to this review. I knew it would be a story that irritated me, but see, we were having computer problems and I couldn't get Overdrive to work, so I went to Hoopla, blah, 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 backstory. I can't 1-star this because there's a plot and the writing is fine, and there's nothing technically wrong with it. I just can't believe the premise. And that was the thing. I could not believe the story. None of it. My skepticism started with Cal and Frida. How in the hell have they survived for 2+ years on their own in the wilderness? They're morons, complete and utter imbeciles. They should have been eaten by a bear in the first chapter. My problem began
reading it would make me want to go out into the wilderness and get eaten by a bear.
Yes, and that wouldn't be fair on the bear.
I'll read the story to the
is-
bear, and the bear will just start weeping.
Yeah. My problem began when Frida, I started calling her Frito in my mind just to make her more entertaining because I hated her, was late with her period and decided that meant she was pregnant. So she was just late with her period after being in the wilderness for 2 years and not being able to look up find food. Okay, cool. Keep that in mind. There were discussions here and there about, are you sure? Because maybe you're not for this bunch of reasons, but it was never seriously doubted her pregnancy. Now, okay, let's break this down. Cal and Frito had both come from a crumbling society but were still well-fed and relatively healthy. Cal and Frito left the crumbling society for reasons and have been living in the wilderness for 2+ years. Cal and Frito suck at hunting and their gardening seems limited to beets.
Oh, God. This is the communist beet farmer meme.
It is. Frito can find mushrooms in the forest, though Cal really can't. Cal and Frito should have lost a lot of weight on their new lifestyle plan. Eat raw foods and whatever rabbit they can ensnare, plus work all day and surviving and homestaying, plus sex all day, every day, plus stress over the world ending, etc. All extra fat equals gone. Go on, Crow.
So basically, Cal is the typical Californian male feminist.
Yes.
He is a pathetic man, and he's always fucking horny and always trying to get with women in vulnerable positions.
So
Even if he has to destroy Los Angeles.
So this Erica writing the review asked the same question I did. So why is Frito still even able to have periods after 2+ years of this new lifestyle plan? Why hasn't her body stopped using precious resources to bleed? That's what a body often does in times of extreme duress, weight loss, and when in survival mode, especially when a body has been soft and pampered and not used to any of this stuff. It's going to protect itself and stop having periods. So why didn't that happen? 6 months in, sure, I could buy a pregnancy. 2+ years of eating mushrooms and beets and having a lot of sex and hard labor and very little protein, no. From there, everything else fell apart for me. I couldn't buy into the whole premise of the story, ergo there was no story. Other gripes.
Oh, God.
It's
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Cal, male feminist confirmed.
Yeah, I was right, apparently.
Yeah, would you like to take that that item there, Bleach?
Cal is a... Oh, you want a Bleach? I was hoping to do it, but there
Oh, sorry,
no,
go
go
for
ahead.
it, Crow. Be our guest. Please.
Other gripes. Cal is a creeper. His fondest dream has been to be trapped alone in the world with only Frida, and his dream came true. He looks at her a lot, just watching her because he loves her with all his heart and his possessive nature. He has a thing for 1950s American societal norms. Oh God, it's a portrait of the right wing. Oh, he likes societal norms and wants to be the next and last Aussie and Harriet. Which, why did he marry someone who is always talking about how she doesn't have to do what men want her to do because she is a human and a person and blah blah blah. Frida is a giant waste of words.
Zoom in for you, Crow.
Sure thing. Frida is a giant waste of words. She is an ardent feminist in lip service, but never in action. She's shallow, just like the author. She may
Just
have
like
some
all
sort of
feminists.
disorder, just like the disorder. I was going to say, just like the author again. That is never addressed, but that seems to drive most of her behavior. She's pretty out of touch with reality. I really do not understand how she survived at all. And you know what really chapped my hide? Frida takes her first good shower in 10 bajillion years, and you know what she does? She shaves. She shaves and is thrilled to be hair-free again. This is the mindset I could not get over. A woman who has been surviving in nature for over 2 years, a woman who has supposedly had to let go of a lot of stuff, a feminist who believes women and their images, roles in society, and general actions should not be dictated by the opinions of men, is excited about shaving her fucking legs and armpits. And then she goes on to judge another woman who is actually good at surviving and homesteading and being part of a culty team for having hairy armpits. Oh my God, seriously? This is what Frida does. She constructs a ghost of a shell of her former life around her so that she doesn't have to deal with her actual environment, and it's frustrating because there are no consequences to this behavior. She's not eaten by a bear, she's not trapped in a cave under fallen rocks, she's not sold into slavery by a roaming band of... and then it cuts off.
A roaming band of illegal immigrants. And
Yeah, I
diverse.
don't know. Bezit, you need to scroll.
Yeah, roaming bands of pirates. What?
Oh.
Apparently,
Yar.
there's
Oh.
We be land pirates here.
No, instead she winds up living...
sorry, I'm just
She
trying
ends
to
up-
scroll to the right place. I'm getting
She ends
distracted.
up living Stepford Life Landia with her soon-to-be baby and her cake baking and her shaved legs and her domestic life because feminism was just a passing phase. Jesus fucking Christ. Can I stop reading? I kind of just want to... I don't know.
Yeah,
I kind of
no,
want to drink. Anyone else feel like a drink?
Do you also want to walk into the woods and get eaten by a bear?
Right now I wouldn't mind.
At this point, I would prefer the bear.
I mean, and I also didn't mean that kind of bear, like
Oh.
of that community.
You didn't mean ardent.
No, definitely not.
Not that hairy.
That's because he shaves everything.
Ardent showers with a bottle of Nair.
Yeah.
It's not fair. But
Nair is never fair.
Oh god, hold on. So where are we? Okay, so they're waffling. So the form/spikes, why are they so scary? They're super big, right? Like 6+ feet. No one's going to accidentally impale themselves on these things. They're too tall. Are they all razor edge so that if you get too close, you get sliced up? Even if that were the case, you don't actually have to try to squeeze between them. So apparently the all-consuming evil wasn't that bad. I'm just going to zoom back out because that works better for me because what else do you have? The children. Won't someone think of the children? Well, because if you think of them too hard, none of it makes sense. Not even a bit. Was all, what? Is this serious? No, it can't be. It is. What? And logic doesn't work in this case. Here's a list of questions I wrote down while reading this.
Oh my god. Wow.
I will skip the ones I've asked above. Why is the idea of pregnancy set off a sudden and unconvincing need to be with other people? Isn't Cal from a farm? Why then is he so damn worried about everything in nature? Because this woman, the idiot writing it's never been in nature. The closest that she gets to nature is screaming at the flowers. Why has the world run out of mountain lions and swordfish? Why are there so many bears and coyotes? Am I getting an anti-feminism message from this? Free to supposedly all woman power, but makes herself look stupid in that regard. So yeah, so does feminism.
This is it's like self-owning without knowing it.
What a fucking review, eh? That's good shit. I'm gonna give that.
I'm not a good writer, but I reckon I could write a better book than that.
I'm an abysmal writer. I could probably write a better book than that.
I have the impression that review is probably better written than the book.
It is. Because it's acceptable to write a review in first-person narrative. It's not acceptable to write a news article in first-person narrative. Grumble, grumble, grumble. I'm still pissed off about that from like 2 weeks ago. Well, fuck me. If you enjoyed this segment from the Songs of Chardonnay podcast, please consider joining us live exclusively on rumble.com/c/Songs of Chardonnay. A special thanks to our Subscribe Star supporters who you can currently see scrolling past on your screen.